Welcome to Introduction Level 1. So Vietnamese is comprised of 6 tones, 5 of which are represented by symbols and 1 which has no symbol, the flat tone. Each of these symbols has its own name, which we can see below. However, in this course we're going to refer to them numerically. So you can see we have the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th tone. Now luckily for us, in the south, the 3rd and 4th tone merge into a very similar sounding tone, which we will look at a little bit later in the lesson. So let's start with the 1st tone, which is the no tone or flat tone, which in Vietnamese is called
ngang, a, a.
So you can hear when we say this, we have to stay completely flat. Now obviously in English, when we are asking a question or we are intrigued, we will naturally incline or decline when we are speaking. We can't do this in Vietnamese, or we will end up saying a completely different word. So let's hear that one more time.
A, a.
And so you can hear that we start and finish at the exact same point. Here is the 2nd tone, which in Vietnamese is
Huyền, a, a.
So as you can hear, we start a little bit lower than this 1st tone, and then there is a gradual decline, and then we level out at a quite deep level. So let's hear that one more time.
A, a.
The 3rd tone is often referred to as the question tone, because in English it sounds very similar to when we ask a question, and in Vietnamese this is called
Hỏi, a, a.
So for tone 3, we start around the same level as tone 2. We briefly rise, and then there is a sharp drop, followed by another gradual rise, finishing a little bit higher than when we started. So let's listen to that and try to follow along at home.
A, a.
And here we have tone 4, the 4th tone, which in Vietnamese is
Ngã, a, a.
So as you can hear, it's very similar to our 3rd tone. This is something that they only do in the south. In the north you can see it is broken up, and we can have a little listen to how this would sound in the north.
A, a.
However, in the south they don't break it up, so we can hear it's actually very similar to tone 3.
A, a.
The only real difference being that we finish a little bit higher than we did for tone 3. So it's essentially the same sound, but we hold it for a little bit longer and we rise a little bit higher. And here we have our 5th tone, which in Vietnamese is
Sắc, a, a.
And as you can hear, we start around the same level as we do for 2, 3 and 4, but then there's a very sharp incline, and we want to finish much higher than we have for any of the previous tones. So let's hear that one more time.
A, a.
And finally, we have tone 6, which in Vietnamese is
Nặng, a, a.
Now this one tends to be the most difficult one for foreigners. So we can hear we actually start quite low, around the same level as tone 2, but then it's a sharp decline, and you really want to finish as deep as your voice can possibly go. So let's hear that one more time.
A, a.
So you can hear it is quite similar to tone 2, but it's a much sharper decline, and you want to finish even lower than we did for tone 2. So here we have all 6 tones. Let's hear them one after another and try to practice along at home.
A, 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 a.
And now we'll hear that one final time, and once again try to repeat the sounds at home.
A, 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 a.